I said in the past that I would come back and touch on this subject someday. Well, I have. And what I was talking about was on ArduPlane, smart audio. And video transmitter support tells us about smart audio. And it's fairly straightforward and simple. We have a VTX_enable that is defaulted to 0 when you install. You have to go in there and change that to a 1 to enable your video transmitter support. And that will reboot, restart your flight controller, and it will pop up with all sorts of options that weren't there before. VTX band, channel, frequency, power, max power, VTX options. You can set these, and you'll also have to set these for the serial port right here, and you'll also have to set up an OSD option so you can see the output that you're going to be changing the power on is what I'm after here. So let's look at some of this. Inside Mission Planner, you have to set up the VTX parameters. These 6 up here are for my 3 OSD screens for displaying that power. And right here we start with VTX band, VTX channel, VTX enable, VTX frequency, VTX max power, VTX options, VTX power. You won't see all of these until you turn VTX enable on by making it a 1 instead of a 0 and rebooting, restarting your flight controller. Then these other options will appear. There's a slight hiccup here in the fact that VTX channel is designated as 0 through 7, whereas normally we designate those 1 through 8. So technically 0, channel A, 2 is actually A3. That's why you saw A3 on the video transmitter instead of A2. Watch out for this little bump in the road. You'll set it for what you think is A2 and go back and you won't be on the right channel. Just got to understand how they're counting 0 through 7 like most of us computer people do. 0 is an important number, whereas most normal humans count 1 and above. Computer people, 0 and above. So this is why this little hiccup right here is going on. So that's really channel A3. I know it says 2, but it's really channel A3 on the transmitter. That will automatically set this number right here. You don't set this number manually. So there's the band, and you can change these on the bench. You change these, and it will change on the transmitter. Max power, I just set it to the highest number. It's a 2,000 milliwatt transmitter, 2 watts. But they don't have 2,000 here, so I set it to 1,000. VTX options. I don't know how this keeps getting. I have it set this way, but it keeps setting itself back to 3, so I'm just going to leave it. I want it in pit mode until it's armed. After it's armed the first time, if it flies and lands where I can't see it, don't know where it is, I don't want it to be in pit mode. I want to be able to move the power up and down after it's armed and maybe see something out of the camera that tells me where it's laying, perhaps. 6.5 dozen of the other. VTX power. This is how you would change it on the ground. This max power and VTX power, I'm not sure how they work in conjunction to each other. I've played with them. I can't see many changes. So there's how you set the VTX underscore options to get Smart Audio working. You also have to set the serial port up. I'm going to have to talk about this in detail because the baud rate for Smart Audio is 4800. That's why we have serial 4 baud rate set to 4 here for 4800. Serial options we have set to 4. That merely turns on half duplex operation that's needed. And serial 4 protocol we have set to 37, which is Smart Audio. Now, I did have trouble on a couple of my models because one of my platforms has the original H743 wing in it. And if we look right here at the layout, you'll see I have a 4-connector DuPont, 4-pin DuPont connector across these 4 pins so that my video transmitter has video out, supply voltage, ground, and Smart Audio right here on TX8. Now see, on the H743 wings version 2 and 3, that is on TX3, UART3 instead of UART8, where it's on the original H43 wing. It's on UART8. So I had to come over here, and for this one, UART8 right here was serial 5 on ArduPlane. But on the H743 version 2 and 3s that I have, it's UART3, which means it is UART3 right here. That's actually serial 4 in ArduPlane. That's why here I came into serial 4 options, set my baud rate, my half duplex operation, and Smart Audio. Again, on the original H743, I was in serial 5 instead of serial 4. So you got to be careful about that. So that's your 2 hiccups. Make sure your controller, make sure you know which controls you're on and what UART you're using and what it's mapped to from that list. The other hiccup is this being one off from what you generally see on your frequency cards. The other option is for the RC channel. I happen to choose 5 as where my switch is on my radio, and I set that to 94 right here for VTX power. Also in the OSD, I set this option, checked VTX power here, and I moved VTX power right here below my normal message and above my GPS satellite message. So right here's VTX power. That's why it appears on the OSD when I change the channel level. So that's all there was to it. That allows me to move the channel, the power level on my video transmitter on my platforms through 5 different power levels. Pit mode, power level 1, 2, 3, and 4. And back down with the slider switch on my radio. That's all there is to it. You can see that the
video transmitter says it's on channel A3 and it's in pit mode, P for pit mode. Now as I raise the switch, you'll see it says A3P, A3-1 now. So it's on power level 1 out of pit mode. Raise the switch just a little more. We can see it's in A3 mode, power level 2, A3, power level 3, A3, power level 4. And we'll just pull it right back down to pit mode.
And you can see right here above the flashing GPS satellite symbol, right here it says 0 milliwatts. That's because it's in pit mode. If I raise that channel just a little bit, you'll see it says VTX A3 5825 megahertz power, 25 milliwatts. That main message will go away. Now if I raise it a little more, it'll say it's at 200 milliwatts. And then it will say 500 milliwatts. And then it will say 800 milliwatts. Technically that's powers 1, 2, 3, and 4. On this one, I think it's 25 milliwatts, 200, 500, and 2 watts of power. That's a 2-watt video transmitter on that platform. So there's how it shows in the OSD.
And this is the switch on my radio I'm using right here. It's just a little slider, and I'm using my 6-position switch across the top right here for modes of operation. So I'm using this as the 6-position switch, and that's what lets me change the power from pit mode through powers 1 through 4, back down, whatever I want to do.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot.